And hello to all friends, potatoes are with you. And today, I will show you how to make a simple and very effective farm of glowing octopuses in Minecraft 1.17. But before you start watching, be sure to subscribe to me and click on the bell so as not to miss new videos. But we're getting started. To build this farm, you will need quite a lot of tinted glass, 44 magmas, a lot of gates, 4 horn blocks, 2 chests, 1 funnel, 11 ladders, 40 gold rails, 4 ordinary rails, a loading funnel, a bucket of water, quite a lot of kelp, and 2 stacks of scaffolding. Resources are not very expensive and quite affordable, so the farm is really very simple. It is also being built quite quickly, except for the fact that it will have to pull out a small hole. But in all other respects, this is really a very simple farm, and it will bring you about 700 glowing inkwells per hour. To build this farm, you will need to find a place where there will be as little water as possible. However, it's not quite like that with me now. Here you can see a river like this, but at least not the sea. It's already good. And look, it is desirable that your height is at least 66, and definitely not less. It is even desirable just to have 66, in order to build everything exactly like mine. And you definitely did it. And what should be done first? It will be necessary to dig a big hole, just where all these octopuses will spawn. The pit should be 15 by 9, and also 3 deep. Let's start doing it now somewhere, let's say right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Here we already have a block once, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you will need to dig such a hole 3 blocks deep. Why exactly 3? Because in our case, we have a height of 66, which is exactly the minimum height for this farm. You can build it a little higher, but you will have to dig much deeper. Because in the end, this pit will need to be torn at a certain height. Well, that's what I did. Now that you have repeated this at your location, namely if your height was higher than 66, or lower, although it is impossible to lower it, you will need to check how far you have reached. You should have reached the 163rd height. It is up to her. And then you dig down from it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 blocks. And now you will need to dig such a big crater here. That is again, 15 by 9, and even further here, 7 blocks down. That is, the total amount is a pit of 10 blocks down. Why is it all about the height there? Because if you do something wrong, then most likely the glowing octopuses will simply not spawn, and the farm will not work. And then you will write to me that I lied to you, and the farm simply does not work. That's why I pay so much attention to it. Well, consider that we have already done the most difficult thing in this company. That is, they just dug a lot of blocks. Then, it will be necessary to finally take our building blocks, namely 40 power rails, and also 4 rails, and we put them just around the perimeter of this pit. That is, here are the power rails, and as you can guess, we just put rails in the corners to wrap. In other words, as I have already said, we put these rails around the perimeter, and as a result, we loop the whole thing. Now it will be necessary to power them. How are we going to do this? With the help of 4 kinship blocks. Just let's say we put rails under it somewhere here. Now we put rails here, and as you can see here, all the rails are active. Then let's put it somewhere here, let's say. Well, that's how it works out for you. Again, it's active here, 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 here. What are we doing this for? In order to launch a loading trolley here, which will eventually collect the entire lot around this perimeter, and eventually unload it to where we need it. Now let's choose one of the big sides, let's say this one. The atom here is 1, 2 blocks, and here it is on the third, we break 1 and 2 blocks. Here we will already put a chest, a funnel, and, accordingly, we will receive the entire load here. We dig here like this, here we break 3 more blocks, and here we will also have to break the block. But here let's build everything up better, so that you do not have any questions. Then you take a chest, a funnel. You put the chest here once, and also pack it here twice, so that there is a single chest, and here is a funnel, so that it looks at the chest. Now you can put an energy rail here. A loading trolley will pass through here, and unload itself, that is, transfer all resources there. And what resources will we have? And the resources, respectively, will be in the form of glowing bags. Next, let's open a small room here, so that it is just convenient to be here. Here, and let's restore everything again, so that there are no questions. Here we put a block, here we break 2 blocks, and here we will need to put exactly 3 tinted windows, so that everything works exactly as it should. Then we can put torches here, so that there is just some light. Let's say let's go here, and here let's make a way out, but just dig up to the very top, and then put our ladders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This is where we'll have a way out. Then, we go back to our hole, and here we will need to finally let our loading trolley, that is let's say here, and push it in that direction. Everything now we have here, will drive so endlessly, and collect all the loot, and unload it here. What should be done next? Then we take magma, and put magma 1 block higher, that is, we put magma over the rails. It's right around the perimeter here, just like the rails. There is no need to put it anywhere in the middle, just put it again around the perimeter. That's what happens. Why are we putting it up? It will attract all the loot down with us. As you know, if it is above the water magma, then it is magma, then it is magma that will attract everything that is in the water. Even living beings, every shot respectively, will be attracted here and collected through these blocks with the help of a loading trolley. But then here, you will need to complete this platform with just any building blocks, let's say a stone, or even a cobblestone. By the way, a small correction, here you will need to lay out the bottom either with a stone, or let's say granite, diorite and andesite. Other blocks will not work here, because they are a condition for spawning glowing octopuses. Then, we take a lot of oak wickets, go to any corner, and put a wicket here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and also 6. Exactly as much, no more, no less. And then we put them just around the perimeter. That is, we do everything here, this whole wall. Then we wrap it up here as well. We put 6 here like this. And so around the perimeter, that is, over the magma. Everywhere exactly 6 blocks in height. But here I did it. It took quite a lot of these wickets, but it's still possible to do it. Now you will need to open all of them all. And by the way, you can put it right away and open it if it's convenient for you, but I'll do it now. We do this so that the mobs and the shot here calmly pass, and accordingly, die about this magma, and get into the shot. Phew, here I did it. This kind of thing turns out to be quite interesting. Now this whole cavity will have to be filled with water. Look, the water will have to be put exactly here. We have a 2, 3, 4, and 5. It is on the 5th. You don't have to go to the 6th, otherwise it just won't work. We put it with a sheftum, so that the gate is not absorbed by water, that is, so that there is no water in it. And we put water all around the perimeter. Later, we will make the water become blocks everywhere with the help of kelp. That is, here I am, so I poured water with a letter ale, and now we just put kelp everywhere here, at full height, so that when we break them, the water all turns into blocks of water. And then the farm will work correctly. Phew, well, I'll do it. That's about how it all turned out for me. Of course, it would be much more economical, just put kelp everywhere here, here, and also on this side of the same line. And then everything would turn out just as great. Now let's break them all down. Then it will be necessary to take any auxiliary building blocks, let's say even the earth, and force this entire layer here with earth. So I did it. And now, it will be necessary to pour water from one of the large sides. That is, look, let's go with the right one. We pour water here, and along the entire length of this one, only on this side, so that we have flowing water here, and it does not reach one block to the opposite side. After that, we can break these blocks of land. Not even that we can, but they need to be broken. You can see, here we are now creating such a stream of water that flows in the right clearly to everyone. This is exactly what we were trying to achieve. After that, we can finally take our tinted glass and force everything here. The last layer here is exactly why we made this height 66th minimum, because otherwise we simply would not have enough space to install glass. Why, by the way, do we use tinted glass? As you know, tinted glass does not transmit light at all. That is, the bone of it is as if something is visible, but you can see the light. We will put the last block here, and the light is not allowed at all. There is literally darkness there. This is exactly what we need for spawning glowing octopuses. We are kind of simulating such an underground water cave. Now we have to do the last one. This is of Kazan, as in all our farms. Why are we going to do this? In order for us to be quite far away, namely from above, and at the same time, the chunks were loaded, and a lot of octopuses were filled here. What do we need for this? Here, we now have the 66th height, and we will need to move 115 blocks higher, that is, in our case, 181st. To do this, we just take as many scaffolding as possible, and put them up. Well, I have reached this height, now let's make a small facazona. To do this, I will take the glass, and make a dome, so that no phantoms are taken out of me. That's it, now our company is completely ready. We can shit, and collect a very lot of loot. Well, here I stood just a little bit, for about a minute probably. Let's just see how much loot has accumulated there. We move here, we go down our ladder. I can already hear someone dying there. Yes, there are probably some fees going on there, and here. So here, we have, first of all, 40 kelp, which I broke there, and so far here, we have 10 luminous ink bags. But naturally there will be much more of them, and in an hour, this farm can bring you as many as 700 glowing ink bags, which is very much. And you must agree, because this is really a very cool farm. It's very cheap. Here, literally, the most expensive thing is probably magma, and very many fences. The rest is all nonsense. It builds on a fairly simple one, and brings a lot of glowing ink bags. Well, there was a potato with you. Be sure to subscribe, like, write comments, and also click on the bell to not miss new videos.